The ground in Haiti remembers. Every fissure and crack tells a story, echoing the pain and resilience of a nation shaped by disaster. It holds the memory of the Great Shaking in 2010, a day that broke the world into pieces. In a matter of seconds, homes, schools, and lives were shattered, leaving behind a silence filled with grief and disbelief. The violent jolt in 2021 tore open the southern peninsula, adding new scars to old wounds. The Earth's fury returned, reminding everyone that safety is never guaranteed. For many Haitians, the earthquakes never truly ended. They live on in the aftershocks of memory and the constant tremor of anxiety. Each day is a negotiation with fear, a test of courage. Every sudden noise can bring back the terror of that moment when the earth betrayed them. Even laughter and music are sometimes interrupted by a collective pause, a glance at the ground. The physical world may have settled, but the ground beneath their feet feels forever unstable. Children grow up learning to read the signs of danger. Families adapt to a life of vigilance. The 2010 earthquake toppled futures, leaving behind a generation of orphans and grieving families. Dreams were buried beneath the rubble, and hope became something to rebuild, piece by piece. The 2021 quake deepened the cracks of poverty and despair. For many, survival meant starting over yet again, in makeshift shelters and uncertain conditions. The legacy of these events is etched into the fabric of the country. Skeletal buildings, tent cities, and faces marked by quiet resilience. The spirit of Haiti endures even as the scars remain visible. The earthquakes exposed the fragility of infrastructure and governance, leaving a vacuum filled by chaos and uncertainty. Roads and bridges became symbols of both loss and the long road to recovery. For those who lived through it, the world is a different place. Daily reminders of loss are everywhere. Each street corner, each broken wall, is a testament to what was lost and what endures. The tremors that began years ago continue to shape the struggles, fears, and strength of a people who have learned to live on unsteady ground. In Haiti, every day is a lesson in resilience, and every sunrise is a quiet act of defiance against despair. Getting from one place to another in Haiti is a daily test of courage, patience, and determination. Every journey, no matter how short, feels like an odyssey through uncertainty. The roads, already poor before the earthquakes, are now treacherous paths of broken asphalt and deep potholes. Each trip is a gamble as vehicles swerve to avoid craters and debris, and drivers must constantly be on alert for sudden hazards. In Port-au-Prince, traffic is a slow-moving river of chaos, a jumble of tap-taps, motorcycles, and pedestrians on fractured streets. Horns blare, engines sputter, and the air is thick with dust and tension as everyone tries to carve out a path forward. The earthquakes shattered connections between communities, making navigation a constant struggle. Bridges have collapsed, roads have vanished, and entire neighborhoods are cut off by piles of rubble. But the true peril lies in the invisible borders. Gangs control vast territories, turning major roads into no-go zones. Armed checkpoints and graffiti mark the boundaries, and the threat of violence is ever present. To travel often means risking violence or kidnapping. Every decision to leave home is weighed against the possibility of never returning, and fear shadows every step. Many Haitians are trapped within their immediate surroundings, their world shrinking with every threat. Streets that once connected friends and families now serve as barriers, dividing lives and dreams. For many, walking is the only option. Miles for food, water, or medical care under a punishing sun. Children and elders alike must brave the journey, exposed to the elements and the dangers that lurk along the way. The simple act of moving has become a profound expression of resilience. Each step forward is a testament to the strength and hope that endures in the face of adversity. This struggle for mobility isolates communities, cripples the economy, and separates families. Markets are empty, schools are out of reach, and loved ones are kept apart by impassable roads. The challenge of travel is more than inconvenience. It's a fundamental barrier to recovery. Without safe passage, aid cannot reach those in need, and hope for rebuilding fades with every blocked road. Even the most basic freedom, the freedom to move, has been stolen by disaster and instability. In Haiti, every journey is a reminder of what has been lost, and of the courage it takes to keep moving forward. Hunger is a constant, gnawing presence in Haiti. For millions, the first thought upon waking is where the next meal will come from. The earthquakes destroyed farms and markets, and instability has choked supply chains. The main port, a lifeline for goods, is controlled by gangs, causing severe shortages and soaring prices. Families stand in line for hours for a small portion of rice, or sell their last possessions for a handful of vegetables. Many have reduced their meals to just one a day, if they're lucky. Clean water is just as scarce. Damaged pipes and contaminated sources have led to a cholera outbreak. Every day, women and children walk miles for water, risking violence along the way. For families like Marie's, the daily fight for food and water is a relentless test of endurance and hope. For Haiti's children, the world is a place of profound uncertainty. An entire generation is growing up in the shadow of disaster, their childhoods defined by loss and struggle. The earthquakes stole their homes, schools, and for too many, their parents. Escalating violence now threatens what little they have left. Education has become a distant dream, schools destroyed or closed, hundreds of thousands out of the classroom. Idleness makes children easy targets for gangs who prey on their despair. The psychological toll is immense. Trauma, anxiety, and depression are widespread with few resources for help. Yet amidst hardship, glimpses of resilience remain. Children create makeshift soccer balls, laughter echoing briefly through the camps. Women and vulnerable groups face unique dangers, especially gender-based violence in insecure camps. The elderly and disabled are often left behind, their suffering quiet but acute. In Haiti, getting sick is not just a setback, it can be a life-threatening event that upends entire families. Even a minor illness can spiral out of control, leaving loved ones desperate for help that may never come. The healthcare system, already fragile before the devastating earthquakes, has now nearly collapsed under the weight of repeated disasters and ongoing instability. Most hospitals and clinics are closed or barely functioning, with doctors and nurses unable to work safely. Many medical professionals have fled or are forced to stay home, fearing for their own safety. For ordinary people, a simple illness can quickly become a death sentence. Families are left to care for the sick at home, often without medicine or even clean water. The cholera outbreak is a direct result of these conditions, a medieval disease thriving in a modern crisis, spreading rapidly through communities with little defense. Chronic illness is even more daunting. Patients with diabetes, hypertension, or HIV are left without medication, unable to access the care they need to survive. Pharmacies are looted, supply chains broken, and decades of public health progress erased in just a few short months. Essential medicines and supplies are nowhere to be found. Amid this collapse, local health workers show incredible bravery, operating makeshift clinics with few resources. They improvise with what little they have, determined to help their neighbors. They are the last line of defense against a rising tide of disease and despair, working long hours and risking their own health for the sake of their communities. Their dedication is a testament to the human spirit, but they can't hold back the flood alone. The scale of the crisis is simply too great for them to manage without outside support. Without a functioning health system, Haitians face sickness and death with little more than courage and prayer. Communities come together, hoping for relief that is slow to arrive. The need for help is urgent and overwhelming. Every day, more lives hang in the balance, waiting for the world to respond. The ground may have stopped shaking, but a different kind of tremor now rules daily life in Haiti violence. In the power vacuum left by political instability, armed gangs have become the de facto authorities in many areas. Hundreds of gangs now control up to 85% of Port-au-Prince, turning neighborhoods into fortresses and roads into battlegrounds. Kidnapping for ransom is rampant, and the fear of abduction keeps people locked in their homes. The government is in turmoil, the police outgunned and overwhelmed. Gangs control critical infrastructure using hunger as a weapon. Life under gang rule is one of extortion, intimidation, and constant terror. People adapt by learning which streets to avoid and how to become invisible, but it comes at a terrible cost. The shadow of violence has fallen over the country, making peace a distant memory. Amid darkness, there are glimmers of light, local and international aid organizations working tirelessly to alleviate suffering. These groups are a lifeline, delivering food, water, and medical supplies despite immense danger. Aid workers face the same risks as everyone else, including kidnapping and violence. Convoys are often targeted, forcing creative solutions like nighttime deliveries or back-alley routes. The most effective efforts are often led by Haitians themselves, community leaders, church groups, and grassroots organizations. Their resourcefulness and solidarity stretch limited donations to have maximum impact. Yet the scale of the crisis is overwhelming, and resources are never enough. Aid is a bridge over a chasm of need, but it cannot rebuild a nation alone. These hands of hope are essential, but lasting change must come from within. Beyond the headlines, the true heart of Haiti is its unbreakable spirit. This spirit is found in everyday acts of solidarity, neighbors sharing food, clearing rubble, and watching over each other's children. Resilience is rooted in shared identity, culture, music, art, and faith. In the evenings, drums beat in defiance of despair, and hopeful murals brighten the streets. Stories of hope abound: a teacher holding class under a tree, a young woman tending wounds as the neighborhood medic. These acts of courage and compassion, multiplied by thousands, create a powerful force of collective resilience. The tradition of convit, coming together to accomplish what no one can do alone, holds society together. In the face of chaos, convit is more important than ever. This unbreakable spirit is the foundation for Haiti's future. The path forward for Haiti is steep and uncertain. The challenges are monumental: humanitarian crisis, political instability, and deep poverty. Rebuilding will require a sustained effort led by Haitians themselves. The future must be grown from Haiti's own strength and resilience. The world must listen to Haitian voices and support Haitian-led solutions. Security, sustenance, and stability are the immediate priorities. The cycle of violence must be broken, and basic needs restored. A stable government is essential for lasting progress. Yet, hope endures in the unyielding spirit of the Haitian people. A new Haiti is possible, a future where children go to school without fear, families have enough to eat, and the ground is steady once more. Building this future will be the work of a generation, requiring patience, commitment, and belief in Haiti's potential. The story of Haiti is not just one of tragedy, but of incredible strength, enduring hope, and a people who refuse to be broken.